Thanks, Marshall. I'd like to thank Marshall because he's actually on vacation this week back east, but out of the goodness of his heart, he got the Q&A started started for us. So thanks, Marshall. Well, welcome everyone to today's Q&A. My name's Gary Gerber. I'll be hosting. Paul's going to be driving for us today. Not a lot of announcements. I did want to bring up a couple things though. If you were having problems with reports yesterday, that should be fixed now. There was something to do with authorizing users not being able to get the reports intermittently. So that should be working for you as of this morning. So we haven't seen any more tickets, so we're assuming that's taken care of. And the foster youth, we haven't had an update since January 29th, and the developers saw some type of issue, would they say, um, two failures in the production FYADF. I have no idea what that acronym stands for, but they are on it. So hopefully they are checking it out and can figure out what's going on with that process. And we are, fall one's done. We are in fall two. There's no amendment window for fall two. However, the deadline has been moved now to March 21st. We're hoping that everyone will have all their fatal errors completed by the end of this month, February 28th. So that gives you a couple weeks to go over the reports and make sure everything's okay. Angela's not going to be here today. Matt's not going to be here today. They're in a management meeting, but we do have folks from CDE. And folks from CDE, do we have anything else to add?
No,
No,
sir.
You
from
covered
Sean. And
everything for me.
okay, great.
Um,
Nothing from Dominic either. Great. Okay, so how this works is if you're new or need a reminder, we ask that you type your questions into the Q&A box, not the chat box. I won't be looking at the chat box. I'll just be looking at the Q&A box. You're welcome to put things in the chat box, but not questions. And when you put your questions in, please number them Q1, Q2, Q3. If you have more than one question, we'll go through all the Q1s first and then circle back to the Q2s and more. Please try to keep your question to the point and brief. Not too much detail. That might be better served in a service ticket. And actually, if you do have a service ticket already in with what you might be asking your question, please just continue working with the service desk agent so we don't duplicate efforts. And that really is all we have. So we're going to jump in and start answering questions or attempting to answer questions. So the first one I have is a Q1 from some of the questions are disappearing, so I'm assuming people are answering those on the background in a written format. Okay, Q1 from Claudia. I wanted to confirm if it's possible to assign authorizing LAA role to two staff members within the same district. If so, are there any specific guidelines or restrictions I should be aware of? I don't see a problem with authorizing LAA. Typically, that's not the same as the LAA admin role, which usually there's one, possibly two per district that's available. But the authorizing LAA, you can have more than one. I don't see a problem with that. Not sure what's going on with which one? Okay, Claudia. So you're talking about the LA admin role because you're asking me which one allows you to enter additional users. That actually is the LA admin role. So whoever your LA admin is, typically there's just one. You can request two, but then that has to go through the CDE. So you put a ticket in, that goes through the CDE, and they'll investigate and add the new users. But I think they limit it to two. But yeah, you do need the LA admin role to be able to add additional users. And that LA admin can put as many users as you have. And if you're the LA admin, you can add users. So if you're having issues adding users, you can put a ticket in and we can work with you on how to do that. Shelley, I have a Q2 for you, but I don't remember seeing a Q1. I think that was one of the ones that disappeared. Um, so I'm not sure if someone answered that for you, but I'm just going to pretend this is a Q1.
Hey, Gary, she had asked about the why the foster youth data wasn't ready and then thanked you when you announced it.
Oh, okay. Very good. So Shirley will come back. All right. Thanks, Paul. Okay, Q1 for Crystal. When looking for students listed on the annual determination letter, the ADL, the VLOOKUP process, step by step with the VLOOKUP tutorial provided by Dominic, the results are zero overdues, but we have a handful of students on the ADL. Is there any reason why the students are not populating?
Yeah, there could absolutely be a reason. If any meet data was submitted for those students after December 13th, then the students who will be listed on the ADL or are included on the ADL may report as having a meeting that was held or held late or something along those lines. Simply because there's been now nearly 2 months between the time the data was pulled and now when you're running these 1621 reports and doing the VLOOKUP. As long as you run that 1621 report and you're not seeing any overdues, I would think that you are going to be okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Dominic. Okay, Q1 from Nima. Is there a change in practice for student responses on the IEP transition plan questions 1 through 8 from age 16 currently to when the student enters ninth grade, approximately 14 years?
So the language on that is that LEAs can, if the IEP team decides it's in the best interest of the student, to begin entering that information once the student is in high school, but it's not required until the student is actually 16 years old.
So, question 1 from Sonoan. Can I get an update response for my ticket 319446?
I'll take that ticket, Gary.
Oh, thanks, Nate.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're going to the Q2 from Shelley. Is SENR 0622 still a valid error? We enroll students in TK for 24-25 with the date of birth between September 1st, 2019 to June 2nd, 2020, based on Ed Code Section 4800C. Our student's date of birth is 2/20/2020. Oops. Invalid transitional kindergarten student age. So he did not turn 4 until February. And then Paul's highlighting at least 4 years as of September 1st and the annual year submitted. And there's no active defects on this. So that's, well, if he didn't turn 4 till February, so you're just now getting the error. Because I've seen that error all along. I'm not sure. But if it's valid, it sounds like it would be valid. I'm not sure why you weren't getting it before.
Yeah, I don't know
And
why they weren't getting it before either,
yeah,
but if you look at the TK FAQ for CDE, it tells you that they have to be for the summer prior too. So the error is valid. And again, I don't know when they put up the enrollment or if they were doing some modifications to it. The student possibly could have been in a grade K, possibly at your school earlier, and then got reduced down to TK or so. I don't know.
yeah, it's hard to sell. I mean, I know sometimes errors don't show up for they weren't turned on yet, and then they turn them on and then they show up. But this one, I don't think that has been the issue. I think that one seems to me it's been working all along. So would you please send the link to this FAQ? So I guess we can put that in the chat box.
Will do.
Okay, and Shelley, you have a Q3. Should both sign language codes, American Sign Language and other sign language, be reported as English only?
Say that again.
Should both sign language codes, ASE and SGN, be reported as English only?
And so Sarah answered the question correctly. Thanks, Sarah, from our office. The ASE will have an ELAS of a TBD, and the SGN is other sign language. So if it's
Ah,
American Sign Language, it's ASE. And then if it's an other sign language, then it's the SGN. And then she's asking them to refer to the Flash 279. And I believe Paul's driving. Thank you, Paul.
there you go. Thanks, Paul. There it is. Whole section on the bottom part. Thanks, Sarah. Okay, Q2 from Sonoan. Should the Cella file template match the ODS extract for Cella? With the Cella ODS extract, then using text to column, the columns do not align with the template. Not sure if I'm missing something. They should match. I don't believe I've had a problem taking the text to columns. I know there's a couple extra on the end sometimes, but I haven't seen that when I've done that. And I do it usually once or twice a week for tickets.
Yeah, I agree
But you
with
could,
you, Gary. I agree
yeah,
with you, Gary. I've pulled a Cella extract yesterday afternoon and imported it over into the file template, and I had the extra two columns on the end, but everything else lined up.
lined up. So Simone, if you want to put a ticket in, you can put my name on it, and I can take a look at your extract, or if I can get the job ID, or actually pull your extract. I don't need the job ID for that, but let me know what it is, and I can try to replicate what you're doing. Okay, Q1 from Chantel. We are an independently reporting charter school. We don't expel students, but sometimes we have to refer them back to their district of residence if our program doesn't work for them. What exit code would we use? I thought it was the T168, but I keep getting ERDs. Can you clarify the proper use of T168? And Judy answers, we are a COE, and when we return students to the district, we use T160 as they are moving to another LEA. T160, I
So
think.
Judy's replacement code is correct for T160 because you don't have an expulsion to report with the student. However, the T168 and why you're not using the T168 is because your it's not your LEA is not either an alternative education school or an independent study program that's referring them back. So that's why you're getting the ERD.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, my pleasure.
She says they are independent
You
study.
might have an independent study program, but you're not registered with the CDE as an independent study program school. Those are two different things.
Okay. Question one from Lou. I arrived late. Sorry. Are there any announcements that I missed? I did mention the foster youth report. There's a process error. So the last one we have is from January 29th. They've identified that there is an error and they're researching what the cause is. So hopefully they get that fixed. And then we did have a problem with reports yesterday, but that should be fixed now. So reports should be working for everyone. And the regular deadline is in March now for fall two. Okay, 17 minutes done, and we have no questions. And there's 164 people there. Awkward pause.
Yes.
What's the wait time again?
Yeah.
We'll give it a couple minutes more, I guess, and then if there's no questions, we'll give everyone back about 45 minutes.
Bad
Uh,
news, Gary. You got to
Yeah.
vamp. That means we need you to sing.
Oh, don't want me to sing. If I
Yeah.
had my piano in here, I would play a little
Oh, hey, there we
piano
go.
tune, but I don't have my piano in here. I'm out in the shed.
there is a question that was posted in the chat.
Yes.
It just appeared in the Q&A.
Here we go. Question one from Yadira. What do we do if we have an LEA that closed and has left students with open enrollments? Well, the LEA that closed, if they still have access, if there's still someone there, they should go back and exit those enrollments. Other than that, it falls to the authorizing, if this is a charter, it falls to the authorizing LEA. Someone may need to have an account set up so that they can go in and close those and open enrollments.
Okay.
And then at the end of the year, we do get a list from CDE of all closed charters throughout the year. And we do touch base and make sure that everything is closed on them. But that's generally housekeeping at the end of the year. So if you do know of an LEA that is closed and has open enrollments, and you can, if it is a charter, contact their authorizing LEA. Otherwise, look them up in the school directory, and you can try and reach out to the authorizing district. They may still be able to do something about it.
Thanks, Paul. Okay, Shelley's asking us to bring back Flash 279 and explain the sign languages and which fluency to report. She's still a little confused and is just getting over being sick. That's understandable. So when a student's primary language is American Sign Language, LA, and it says like right there, LA should submit a seller record with an ELAS code of English only and a primary language code of SGN for sign languages. If the sign language is other than ASL, LEA should submit the seller record with an ELAS code of TBD to be determined and a primary code of, again, SGN sign languages. Both of them say SGN.
I was just about to make that observation that the American Sign Language should say ASL right here.
We have a typo in the flash.
Oops.
Yes, so it should be the ASL up there, right underneath the title there of that paragraph. So that looks like we have a typo. Thanks, Shelley.
Sarah, if you're on still, can you just note that one and grab it, please?
Sorry about that. Okay, Q1 from Maria. I was approached by my admin regarding ADA for foreign exchange students and LEAs not receiving ADA for them. Is this true? I think a foreign exchange student counts just as a regular student when they're attending your district, but Sean?
I don't believe so.
No?
When we instituted enrollment status 50 non-ADA, the original definition with infants and toddlers and private school students included foreign exchange students, but they removed that for foreign exchange students before it was implemented. So that gives me pause to think that maybe foreign exchange students don't receive ADA.
Do you know that answer to that?
Oh, I thought Nate was answering.
Well, he believes that's the case, and I don't know if you had for sure stamp of approval or not. Do foreign exchange students receive ADA?
That's in our FAQ,
Okay.
and I'm almost positive that that's yes. Because they're not listed, they have a address here,
considered to be a member of the household in which he resides.
Yeah, that one's for FRPM, no, not ADA.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
Oh, we're not going to ask. I mean, we're not going to actually calculate ADA. We're going to calculate enrollment. Thanks for noting that. So should they have an SSID obtained? Yes. And should they be reported for enrollment? Yes. For actual ADA, if your CBO, I'd recommend connecting with your CBO or whoever is doing your ADA attendance reporting, but I can't answer that from CalPADS perspective.
Thank you. Udera is coming back and saying, I guess the LEA that closed and will be opening under a different name, and some of those students have enrolled with my LEA. Oh,
So then the guidance still stands though, to where reach out to that LEA. You know that they're opening up under another name and you know that they still exist. So reach out to that LEA and the school's contact list on the CSIS website should be useful. And then you can grab, but if it's an ERD, then it should list an email for you as well. And then you can reach out to them and ask them to go ahead and close that enrollment.
any question one from Ethan. I noticed that the state course code 1000 self-contained can be reported with no departmentalized standard grade level range code, but not the not option. When would it be appropriate to report null there? I think I'd have to look at the solid code combos. So it says yes all the way across, I believe. There it is. 1000.
The 1000 is 2 entries.
Yeah, I didn't think, what did we say? Why does it have 2 entries now? I don't know if that's an error. Ethan, that may be an error. I thought someone asked about that before.
Unless that's communicating yes or null.
Well, if no one
That's
knows
what I'm reading it to say, Paul.
yes
So
or
if they're
no.
going to leave, if they're going to leave it blank, they just need to leave it blank across the board. But if not, then they're going to put either the yes for the departmentalized, but for the departmentalized course standards grade level range, yeah.
And Ethan's saying that he does have past records that have that field blank, and if you're not getting an error, then that does look like it could be yes or no or no. But
Yeah, it's
if
just
you
indicating that it can either have nulls all across or yeses for only those 3 areas.
but not a yes for not, I guess.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Key one from Jennifer. Is there a recommended practice on determining which non-English language to use as a student's primary language from the HLS if more than one non-English language is given? Example, Spanish, French, English, majority, an answer to a specific question. I thought it was the majority of the language that's spoken in the house.
Give me a minute. We put this in, I think, last week too. It's a CDE sheet that doesn't come from our office though.
Hmm.
But, it's basically telling you if any of the 1 through 3 are reported with anything other than English, then you go ahead and populate that. And it's in the same sheet that I shared that had how do you change this. I don't see it in my last. I'll slide it in the chat.
Okay. Jennifer, she's going to put an answer in the chat.
Comes from the language office.
Question 2 from Maria. Can you please send me the link regarding the alternate diploma guidelines? Do we have that link?
Was it a flash?
I don't recall. If anyone else knows that link, please put that in the chat. I don't know off the top of my head where that is.
Is it related to the graduates exemption indicator? There's a flash with that where it discusses that.
Oh, I posted a link in the chat, but I think you brought that up, Gary, earlier. And that was the one that was posted November 4th, 2024. Is that the...
Is that it there?
It has some information on it, so
Okay. Thanks, Milo.
this might be helpful. Yeah.
It looks like there's some FAQs at the bottom of that one too. So,
Oh, perfect. Okay. Question from M. Gozo. Please show step-by-step how to run report 16.21 as of October 2nd, 2024 for overdue, and how to run report 16.21 as of 12/13/2014, no filters. I just need to make sure I'm running the report the correct way. Sonoan did say there is a video on the CSIS YouTube page that shows the steps, and she put the link in there. But we can't run it. Well, we can do so much, but we can't run it because it will show classified data, or it will show student data, and we can't show that in the Q&A.
yeah, I can show you the modal and show you how to adjust the as of date, change the month to October, the as of date to 2. If you're only looking for a specific monitoring category, you can choose it here. Otherwise, it'll include all of them.
But as someone said, there is a YouTube video that will go through the steps, and that has pretend data in it. So that could be helpful for you as well. But if you still have a question and it doesn't make sense, yeah, and Judy says it's easy to follow. But if you still have a question, you can put a ticket in, and someone from the help desk will be able to walk you through it as well. All right. Question 1 from Soraya. Hello, one of our LEAs has a true concurrent enrollment. The student attended a virtual academy and our in-person site concurrently for 7 school days. Where can we receive ADA guidance on a situation like this? Well,
I
CalPADS,
went
yeah,
I went to CDE's ADA and just searched ADA, and down at the bottom it says all questions should go to the principal apportionment section at this address and phone number.
awesome. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, CalPADS doesn't do ADA. Okay, question from Stephanie. When reporting an incident, is the action authority code only set when behavior is 100, 110, or 200? And we can find the answer for that in the CalPADS file specifications for that field. If there is any type of requirement, it will tell you on the file specifications document. So for an incident, and we're looking for action authority code. Which I don't see on here.
It's in the results.
Oh, there it is. Thank you. And actually, there's no validation for it in the validation column. Oh, here we go. Required. If an incident occurrence date, active SPED plan, and incident result code is equal to 100, 110, or 200, then yes, it is required. Okay, Q1 from Chris. Where can I get the updated data guide? The one posted on CDE website is from 2020. And as Jaime says, there hasn't been an update since that version 2020. I know the CDE is working on it. It's a big update that's coming, and it's a lot of effort and a lot of work. I think it's even updating formats and stuff of how it works. It's a big job, and they've been working on it a lot, but there's a lot of other high priority things that are going on. I don't know that they have an ETA of when that's going to be published, but they are working on an updated one, and they're well aware that this one is getting kind of old now. But if you have a question on the data guide from something that seems like it may not be pertinent anymore, definitely put a ticket in, and we can look it up and find out what may be different now, because there are definitely some things that are not the same. Okay, we made it to 3:36. Any more questions anyone wants to ask? No questions? Well, do we want to go ahead and call it and give you guys back about 20 something minutes? There's no managers here, so I can't ask them, but I can ask CDE if they want to give everyone back 20 minutes. We can call it a day.